Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mr. Frisco Podcast, where real talk meets real estate, local vibes, and the people's shaping Frisco's future. Here's what I have got for you today. First, we will go over the latest Frisco housing market numbers, and I will break down what the trends really mean for you. In today's buyers sellers tip, we will talk about fixed versus adjustable mortgage rates. I'm joined by Christopher Kinsey, business broker with Transworld Business Advisors, for a conversation you won't want to miss. And in our Frisco news segment, I will highlight a SAVOR at the Omni PGA Frisco event, then close with an important reminder about early voting and election day.
Meet Mr. Frisco, a realtor selling residential real estate in Frisco and far north Dallas. As a former professional athlete, track and field, and strength and conditioning coach, Mr. Frisco immigrated to the USA 20 years ago with $50 in his pocket, a suitcase, and zero English to pursue the American dream and build a successful real estate business. Hardworking, persistent, customer service, and detail-oriented, Mr. Frisco strives to secure a smooth closing on his client's biggest investment, their home. He puts his experience and knowledge to serve his clients the best way possible. Building his business by referral allows him to maintain relationships with his clients and serve them even after the transaction is closed. This is Frisco Realty News with Mr. Frisco.
All right, Frisco, let's get into the March housing market update because the market is doing something really interesting right now. First, prices made a big move. The median price for an existing homes in Frisco reached $665,000, which is 3.9% higher than the same time last year, and a strong 10% jump from February. So yes, home values are still showing real strength. Now, here is the part buyers may actually like. Inventory is up. Frisco had 698 homes for sale in March, which is 16.7% higher than last year and 25.7% higher than February. That means buyers have more options and a little more room to breathe. But here's what makes March really stand out. Activity pickup. 151 existing homes sold, which is 10.7% lower than last year, but a big 32.45% increase from February. And the pending sales also jumped to 191 homes, up 1.1% year over year and 29% higher than February. That's a strong sign that the market is gaining momentum and homes are moving faster too. The median days on the market dropped to 25 days, which is 16.7% lower than last year and 16 days faster than February. So now let's talk about months of supply because this matters. Frisco is sitting at 4.4 months of inventory, which is higher than February. That tells us we are still in a seller's market, but one that is clearly leaning toward a more balanced market, and it's getting better for buyers. So what does all of that mean? Frisco is still strong. Sellers still have an advantage, but buyers are getting more choice and a bit more leverage than before. At the same time, demand is picking up, prices are rising, and homes are selling faster. So no, this is not buyer's market, but it is healthier, more balanced, and more active market. And for this week's buyers and sellers tips, let's talk mortgage strategy. Buyers, one of the biggest decision is choosing between a fixed rate loan and an adjustable rate loan. A fixed rate gives you a stable monthly payments and long-term predictability. An adjustable rate loan may offer a lower starting payment, but the rate can change later. The right choice depends on your budget, timeline, goal, and comfort with the risk. And sellers, this matters to you too because financing affects buyers' confidence and buying power. The stronger the buyer's loan strategy, the smoother the transaction can be from contract to closing. And now let's welcome my guest, Christopher Kinsey, a business broker with a Transworld Business Advisors. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
You good? That's nice, man. You have to be good, okay? How was your day today?
Good. Running a couple deals. Trying to get them over the finish line. You know how it goes. So.
Okay, well, that's good. We all like closing. Some realtors, we like the closing days.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so you're a business broker.
Yes.
Okay. And you're a former soccer player.
Yeah.
Goalie.
Yep. Goalkeeper. Yeah. I grew up playing soccer. I ended up playing in college at Fairfield University. You know Matt Turner, the U.S. goalkeeper, Matt Turner? He played at Fairfield University too. Both goalkeepers. So.
Oh.
A little bit of history there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Do you still play for fun?
Yeah, I play on the weekends sometimes, but it's nice to play for fun and not so competitive all the time. It's not a job.
Okay. Well, the job is the better you have the better job. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, business broker with Transworld Advisors, broker advisors. Is correct? Okay. First, how do you say to get in this business?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I got into this business a little different than most people. Most business brokers will say, that they sold their business or that they bought a business. And then when that one, went along, they thought, well, man, I think I could probably do that. And for me, it was different. I actually come from a family of business brokers. So I've been learning about business brokers since I was 13, 14, in the car on the way to soccer games, forever. I've been listening to business brokerage calls and kind of just absorbing it. And I always knew, this is kind of what I want to do, from a young age, watching my dad do it forever. So I'm one of the younger brokers out there because I haven't owned my own business yet. But what I do right now is kind of like owning my own business.
Wow, cool. So it's not that generational.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So your parents, actually your dad or both of your parents, they had their own business, brokerage?
Yeah, so my dad actually had his own mortgage brokerage, and then he sold that. And once he sold that, he kind of had the epiphany, I think I could probably do this for other people. And my mom is also a small business owner. She owns her own small dentistry. And so both of them are entrepreneurs, and I got that from them.
So you're a generational entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. Okay. Let's go to the business brokerage because most of the people just relate that to, from the movies, probably the big deals, big companies, lots of financial stuff going on, big money, Actually, I believe there are big money, in this, as in each business. But what is the everyday work for a business broker? What actually you do, guys?
Yeah, that's a good question. Mostly what we do is find inventory. So you're in residential real estate. You know what it's like. If you don't have any businesses or homes to sell, you can't do anything. So a lot of our time is spent, reaching out and looking for those business owners and trying to make connections in the local community with business owners in any way we can. To really get the word out that selling your business is a possibility. Most people, business owners, don't know that they can sell their business. So they save their whole life, and then when they finally have enough for retirement, they just close the doors or they give it to their kids, and they don't know that they're sitting on an asset that they can actually sell for money. So a lot of it is just teaching people, getting the word out that you can sell your business, and you don't have to be, Twitter to sell your business. It doesn't need to be billions and billions of dollars and these huge big money deals. Everyday businesses on the street sell just as well.
All right. Well, it's not that romantic that they watched on the movie. Yeah, it's hard work.
It is. It
It's
is.
hard work.
Yeah, it's a lot of managing expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You said some people they even don't know that they're sitting on money.
Yeah.
So that leads to my next question: what makes a business valuable for sale?
That's a great question. And number one thing, of course, is does the business make money? So even if you are working 40 hours a week, or say you're the only employee in your business, you can still sell that business. The business has clients, it has a reputation, it has a business name. So everything related to your business kind of comes together to give it value. And the bottom line is your profit, of course. If you make good profit, then you can sell for more. But if not, how much are your assets worth? How long is your client list? What's the industry? There are tons and tons of factors that go into a business value. But I would say if I had to narrow it down to three big ones, it would be how much money do you make? How many employees do you have? And how much do they get done without you? So if you're working 80 hours a week, when you sell the business, you're selling 80 hours of work to the buyer. So the more you can phase yourself out, the better. And the last thing is how clean are your financials?
Okay. We both do our business. Okay, you may not don't have your company, but actually we're self-employed, so
Right.
it's just our business. But what actually the biggest mistake business owners make to devalue their business?
Yeah, that's a good question. Kind of similar to what I said previously. One is they don't plan to sell the business. They wait until something in life happens where they need to sell the business. The best time to sell your business is when you're doing well, actually, because that's when people want to buy it, right? So when something happens, health or family related, or maybe you just want to relocate, your grandchild has been born, and people aren't prepared to sell their business, that kind of hurts the bank loans that they might need, and really limits their buyer pool overall. So not preparing is definitely the number one thing. And number two is not phasing yourself out of the business. So like I mentioned, if you work 80 hours a week, the buyer is going to have to work those 80 hours a week to keep the business going. The more you can phase yourself out of the business and let the business run on its own like a well-oiled machine, the better it is going to be for a buyer to come in and continue to keep that machine going.
All right. Well, when you make profit, you should pay taxes, and we don't like that.
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. This is the hardest thing to tell people is that they need to pay
Is
their
it?
taxes. Because the reason is because the SBA, the small business banking by the government, they will only lend money based on tax returns. So that means your auto expense, your family's healthcare, your family's phone lines that are all going through the business to lower that bottom line, to lower your taxes, it's going to hurt you when it comes time for a buyer to get a loan. The banks are going to value your business lower than what it's really worth. And that kind of gives us two options, is we can look for a cash buyer who doesn't need any loans to buy the business, or we're going to have to lower the value of the business to kind of come to terms with the bank. So one hand, we're limiting all of our buyers. On the other hand, we're limiting all of our lenders. So it's a lose-lose situation.
So a short-term gain with no taxes can hurt you long-term gain and profit
Absolutely.
when you sell your business.
Yeah, absolutely. You save 30 cents for every dollar of taxes you don't pay, but every dollar that you do pay in taxes, you get 2 to 3 times when you sell your business.
All right, that's a very unpopular message, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I know.
No one likes to pay their
All right.
taxes.
Well, this is how it is. Okay, you
Yep.
make money, you pay taxes. So this is how our tax system works so far. All right. So if somebody wants to buy a business, let's go on the other side, the buyer side.
Yeah.
what the first thing they need to watch, and what would you advise them?
Yeah, the most important thing you can do as a buyer is to get SBA approved for a certain dollar amount. So when you're looking to buy a business, if you want a business banking loan from the SBA, you'll want to go through their process and be pre-approved. That kind of puts you ahead of the line, when we're looking at all these buyers. If you're pre-approved, we know you're serious. We know how much you can afford, and we know that banks are going to actually lend to you. So we take you a lot more serious as a buyer, and kind of you earn more of our time that way.
Um, are you focused on small businesses? What size of businesses are targeting now?
Yeah, we can do any kind of business. I started my career with Transworld and the mergers and acquisition side. The big money deals, but what we call small to middle market. So anything that was under 100 million. Now I'm focused more on the local market. So anything under 10 million in value, but that includes businesses that don't make any money, businesses that are breaking even, businesses that are only worth 50 or 60,000. I have multiple listings right now that are new businesses worth 65,000, and we treat them all the same. And because our network is so big and our company is so big, we're able to kind of treat all of them the same.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because that's good service. You treat all the clients the same way.
Yeah, no, and it's the same process for everybody. Whether
1 billion client, you have to treat the same way, like a $50,000 client.
right,
It is just what it is.
yeah, no, the process doesn't change for either.
Absolutely. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Okay. If somebody would like to reach out to you and sell or buy a business, how can they do that?
Yeah, the best way to buy a business or find a business to buy is to go to our website, transworld.com. You can filter through price, industry, location, and that'll kind of point you in a direction and give you somewhere to start. You can also reach out to me personally. My phone number, 817-502-3353. I answer it all day. I'm always on the phone. So if you have any questions, give me a call, and I'm more than happy to answer. And you can also send an email, CKINSEY@tworld.com. And again, we're always answering the phone, always answering email. So
Wonderful. All right, Chris, thanks for attending my podcast, and I will see you around.
yeah, appreciate you having me out here.
And good luck.
Yeah, you as
Good
well.
luck. Okay, thanks. And for big social events in Frisco, one of the strongest highlights on the calendar is SAVOR at Omni PGA Frisco Resort, happening April 30th through May 3rd, 2026. This is exactly the kind of event that shows the lifestyle side of Frisco and why so many people love living here. SAVOR is expected to bring together culinary starts, craft cocktails, live music, a drone show, and fireworks, creating a fun, high-energy experience for both residents and visitors. It's more than just a food event. It is a full Frisco experience that blends entertainment, community, and hospitality in one place. So if you are looking for something exciting to do, this is definitely one event to keep on your radar this spring. And while Frisco has plenty to enjoy on the social side, there is also something much more important happening in our city right now. Beyond the events and entertainment, this is also a moment for residents to help shape Frisco's future. Before we wrap up, here is your Frisco news update. Early voting for the May 2nd election runs April 20 through April 28, and Frisco votes will choose a new mayor plus city council members for place 5 and 6. Current mayor Jeff Cheney is term limited, so this mayor's race will bring a new leadership to City Hall. To Frisco ISD board seats, place 4 and 5 are also on the ballot this year. However you vote, make sure you show up and exercise your constitutional right. Thank you for tuning in today. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to my podcast for more insights on Frisco's best spots, local events, and the housing market. Until next time.